Welcome friends to the course of Marketing Research Analysis. Well, this course has a great value in today's term, and everywhere you see today there is the topic of research and research analysis, data analysis, which has in fact become one of the most discussed topics in the world of business and around, right. So, I am Dr. J.K. Nayak, Jogendra Kumar Nayak from the Department of Management Studies. I have been teaching this course for a while now, almost you can say 7 years right now, and maybe I have conducted about a dozen of courses on this same subject. So, what is this course all about, and what are we going to get at the end of the day is what we are going to discuss. So, I will brief you about the course, my contents and all. So, for example, if I start like this, let us say marketing research analysis so there are two parts of this subject. The first part includes the theoretical portion, which is where I say is most important, because after all, if you do not have a foundation, if you do not have a control over your theory, your understanding of your theory, then one cannot apply the tools and techniques in a proper manner. And this is what happens in most of the cases in the real world, that there is a mismatch. Students come to me, scholars come to me and check and ask how to solve a problem or how to come out with a solution, and then I ask them, what is your problem all about? And that is what sometimes I see people do not understand. Okay. So, I will try to brief you in this 20 sessions which I have. So, first few parts I will cover the aspects of marketing research. So, covering what is marketing research, an introduction, and then what are the different constituents of it, what are the different parts of the marketing research process, what is the research design basically, and how do we formulate a problem, how do we move ahead in the research design, and what are the types of research design, all these things we will see, right. And then finally comes the data analysis part, the next part of it, the major part of it. So, let us begin the class. So, let me start with, since the name marketing is there, I think everybody should know what marketing is all about, right. So, as it says, because marketing research is part of marketing, we should understand three things: what is marketing, what are the concepts of marketing, and what is marketing strategy all about, right. Because see, the basic idea is, why should you study this subject? This subject is to be studied because the end result is that you are going to do something beneficial for a firm or a company or an organization, in maybe in terms of increase in market share, maybe in terms of increase in profitability, maybe in terms of increasing the customer base, whatever it is. So, how would you do it? Because one has to understand that marketing is got some, there is some difference between marketing and other fields of the management, right. Marketing is more connected with the consumers at large. So, if you want to connect the consumer, if you want to bring the consumer to your side, what should you do? So, that is what marketing research talks about, okay. So, let us go with what is the first definition of marketing. Marketing has been defined as a process of creating, if you can see, as a process of creating, communicating and delivering value to the customers and for managing the customer relationships. In fact, in marketing, in management, it has been said that getting a new customer is 5 times more costlier than retaining the customer, right. So, in such a condition, how to connect with the customer becomes a very important part of marketing, right. Okay. What are the marketing concepts? In fact, when I say the word concept, you have to understand, since the time the firms evolved, the time when the theory of the nature of the firm was published by Coase and Ronald Coase, and things like transaction cost economics came into place. At one point of time there was the production was called to be at the helm of the affair, right. So, the most important thing was the production and the customers were at the receiving end, okay. But today it has changed drastically. Let us see what has happened. So, if you look at it now, it is a business philosophy that holds the key to achieve the organizational goals and consists of the companies being more effective than competitors in delivering the customer value. Now, what are the concepts? There are 5 concepts, if you can see this, okay. These are the 5 concepts. Production concept, as I said, started with it. Then we moved on to the product. People said in the production that whatever you produce, it will be sold in the market. So, the manufacturer was the king, right. Then came the product concept, where they said every good product would sell on its own. So, nothing is required. Then they thought maybe it is not working. So, we have to push our ideas, we have to sell our products. So, maybe sales teams were organized and things turned up the way and companies started pushing their products, right. But that also had its own disadvantage. So, then companies started realizing what to do, how to move ahead, how to bring the customer to our side now. So, came the marketing concept, where they said you have to understand and identify the customer's needs and wants and accordingly then produce a product or service, so that the customer, you do not have to push the product to the consumer, but rather the consumer will come towards the company or the product. So, if I draw it, it is something like, if you see this, let us say if this is where the firm is, initially the firm was selling to the consumer, right, but now we are trying to reverse this direction, okay. Finally came the societal marketing. Now, marketing also had its own flaws. So, what were the flaws? That we did not take into account, the societal part. What kind of damage are we doing to the society, the nature at large? Are we doing it in a sustainable manner? So, these are things being discussed. What if we are exploiting nature to its fullest extent and tomorrow there is nothing left for our next generation? So, societal marketing talks about how to include all these things, right, and move in a positive manner, okay. Finally comes the marketing strategy, which says that it consists of selecting a segment of the market. Now, you have to understand what is a segment. Now, look at this board. Suppose this is my board, let us say, or this is, let us say, my market, okay. Now, the point is, this whole market I cannot cater to this whole market. So, what I do, I will only cater to this, maybe this piece of the market, or maybe this piece, okay, or let us say this piece, or maybe B and C together, or A and B together, or it could be anything like that, right. So, segmenting the market becomes easier because you can divert your resources in a much better manner, okay, in a more effective way, okay. So and once you have the, you see, now if you have designed the market, if you have segmented the market properly, now then you do not have to put in your resources. Suppose this is the market you are going to, then you do not need to put your resources for A and C. So, B is the only market you are doing, and to do that you can design your product, you can design your price, alright, you can design your promotion, you can design your distribution according to the needs of B, okay. So, now look at this. So, how does the successful marketing go? It starts with the market analysis. So, you analyze the market, right, look at your competitors, your consumers, your customers basically, then accordingly you move ahead to launch your plan, and that creates an successful marketing strategy altogether, okay. Okay. Now, to practice marketing, as I said, but we have seen in this world there have been several cases where companies have come up with brilliant ideas, organizations have come up with brilliant strategies, but they have met with a disaster. They have failed miserably, and sometimes not so brilliant ideas have done wonderfully well. So, let us look at a few things. So, what happens, what is the whole process behind it? Okay. So, when you see this, if you look at this line, many decisions require additional information and marketing research is needed in order to supply that information. So, that means you require information to know ki how can one do better in a particular market, or one can do better for a particular kind of customers, right. For example, let us take the Harley Davidson case, okay, very famous. This company had started, the profits were coming down, it was not doing well, but then the company thought what to do, how could they evolve. So, they started the peer to peer marketing techniques. They made a club, like a Davidson club, Harley Davidson club, and slowly they started promoting in there, and it worked wonderfully well for them, right. So, one has to understand what is that information that is we are missing or we need it from the market, and that is where only research comes, because research after all does nothing but it helps you to search an information, research, searching again and again and again till you get into the right information, right. Okay. So, these are some classic cases. I have brought it for your benefit, so you can enjoy and also learn at the same time. If you look at the first one, is a very powerful, very important case where, because of a wrong interpretation of the market and the consumers, Coca-Cola burnt its fingers. What happened here? Coca-Cola came up with the concept of the new cola. They thought that since taste was not a very important feature, they could come up with something new for the consumers. But it was a grave mistake, because the people of US had a connection with the brand Coca-Cola, with the culture of Coca-Cola. They reacted very badly, and Coca-Cola had to come back again with a new promotion saying the old cola is back again. Okay. So, sometimes things are connected with your culture, your tradition, and you do not want to give it away so easily, right. This was another case where McDonald's thought their burgers were being very famous. So, they thought ki if my burgers are famous with the children's, it would also be famous with the adults, because it happens that parents also do consume a part of the burger with the child, right. So, they thought that, and they launched a premium priced burger, right, product of McDonald's which was coming up, but the adults did not like it. They were not ready to pay a higher price, they disliked the product, they thought they were being treated like a child, they discouraged it, and in the whole way Coca-Cola lost $100 million in the year 1996. Yogurt shampoo was another case of Procter and Gamble, one of the most well researched, most popular company in the world, you can say easily. Yogurt shampoo, when it came, it also made a mistake. The mistake was they did not research well to understand what do people like in a shampoo. They thought that going back to your nature and natural products would be a good way of increasing your market share. But to your dismay, what happened is some people even consumed, thinking it is yogurt, they consumed the shampoo and they were hospitalized. It gave a very bad remark and this product failed. Another product, 3D television. Who would think that 3D television would be ever a failure? Similarly, Vizio never thought. Vizio is a company established in the early 2000. They never thought. They thought a 3D television would be a popular thing, but it failed. What happened? The reason was they had again not researched. What they had not researched? They had not researched that the number of the 3D movies being made was very few. and people were not ready to wear those glasses most of the time. So, why would anybody watch a 3D television, right? And lastly, this is Apple. I deliberately brought in Apple here because we all talk about Apple, 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 because Apple, a doctor keeps the doctor away, Apple a day keeps the doctor away, that is a statement. On the same side, Apple as a company is the most researched company and the most successful company in the world, we say, in terms of market capitalization. So, when Apple came with the Lisa project, the project Lisa, they tried to address it to the B2B consumer, but they did not realize one thing, that the B2B consumer at that, for that particular category was a very price sensitive consumer, and the Lisa project again failed. So, why I am saying this is because such great companies also can make great mistakes and get into huge losses, right. So, because of a not a good proper research analysis or research design, you have not made your research well, so you could land up into trouble, right. So, let us be very careful. This is a successful case. Now, YouTube, when people, you can see the founders, right, the founders Scad Hurley, Steve Chen and Javed Karim, they thought ki what is there to how to find out a way so that they could give it to the public without any bugs, without any problem. It could show the videos of very popular shows and all. They saw that sharing was at that time was not a very reliable thing, it was unreliable, and most sites failed to provide dedicated video. So, what happened? They saw it as an opportunity. This research helped them to find an opportunity in the market, right. And what came up was YouTube, which was brought by Google for 1.65 billion. So, who could think that such a small idea could become such a large organization and such a large profitable venture? Okay. Similarly, there are so many other examples like the case of Instagram. I have put it here, you can see that later on, and I have also put the case of Nano. Nano is a very classic Indian case. I do not want to get into the debate of whether it was successful or not, but we can easily say that Nano was a classic case of a new product being developed for a new range of consumer, right. So, how it happened? Ratan Tata finds that one day a family was travelling on a scooter with 4 people and it was very uncomfortable. So, he decided then and there that he would make a car of 1 lakh. So, this is how the Nano started, right. So, we need marketing research to make the right decisions to implement marketing, practice the concept and make the right decisions to set the right marketing strategy, right. So, how is marketing research defined now? Let us see that. It says it is a function that links the customer, the consumer and the public through information. So, which we discussed just beforehand. So, this information is used to identify and define the marketing opportunities, as YouTube did. They found that there was an opportunity. So, they exploited that opportunity and they did well, right. So, this is all the marketing research definition says. Now, this is a classic question that comes when we are into the subject of market research. So, what does this mean? Let us say if I break it up into 2 parts, let us say market and then say again the next one marketing. Okay. So, what is this market research and what is marketing research? Is there a difference between the two? What is the difference? We have to think. So, market, as the name suggests, we feel it is like a geographical boundary, it is a large potential set of buyers and sellers. Today if I say only geography, it might be wrong because we are playing on the virtual world. So, okay. So, market research talks about a specific group in a specific geographic area, but that might you can extend it to the virtual world, which is much bigger. Okay. Marketing research, what is the purpose of marketing? On the other side, the marketing research, let us see, it helps to link the consumer to the marketer by providing information that can be used on making making marketing decisions. For example, what is the right price? What is the right product? Should we distribute it through this channel or should we distribute some other channel? What is the right promotional technique? Should we promote it on TV? Should we air it on the cable? Should we air it on the let us say internet? Should we give it a like some other a kind of a you can let us say sponsor a cricket match for example, anything, right. So, how do you do it? So, basically the 4 P's of marketing that we talk about, and it is connected with this 4 P's of marketing, right, mostly. So, let us see this. What are the uses of marketing research? Identifying the marketing opportunities and problems, as I said again, let us go back to the examples. Generate, refine and evaluate potential marketing actions, right. So, what is the right marketing action to be taken? Monitor the marketing performance, repeatedly monitoring, checking whether we are able to meet our objectives or not is very important. Improve it as a process altogether. Now, this is the case of Twitter. Another example which you will like is Twitter wanted to launch their product, right, but initially they found they were competing with nobody one of the greatest players in the market, Apple. So, they thought that podcast which was Apple had launched with the support for iTunes would obviously not do well because they were competing, they were small player and they were competing directly against the biggest giant Apple, right. So, they thought, they concluded that they had no real chance of competing against Apple. So, what they did was they did a survey to find out, they realized after the survey that the platform they had built had tremendous scalability and potential, right. Suppose they doubled down on the simplicity and just made a portal where people could share what they were up to, then it would be wonderful, right. After researching, they found their new venture Twitter now which would provide a basic to back to the basics feed of information with a focus on news and celebrity. So, it seemed crazy, but they pulled it off. Initially with every new idea people start criticizing and they think it would not work, but they had done the research, they saw there was a gap in the market which was existing and they could take advantage of it, right. Classifications of marketing research. So, basically we will classify into the problem identification research and problem solving research. Identifying the problem is itself a successful thing. For example, market potential. What is my potential? Am I not working to my potential? Can I do something more? What is my market share? What is the image in the market? I will tell you this case of Parle. When Parle changed its packaging just to make it more masculine, people initially felt that it is okay to have a Parle, but then when the color of the packaging changed, people started thinking that this is something like more vigor, there is more energy into Parle and it is really a fantastic product. So, there was no change in the product, but only the packaging, right. So, your image also changes with the way you project yourself. So, what is the image that is acceptable in the market and the market wants it is very important. So, the characteristics of the market, forecasting and trends in the market. So, what are the present trends? Once upon a time the fashion trends, if you see, change every moment, every 5 years, 10 years there is a change in the fashion, again you go back to maybe the old times and all, it so happens. So, understanding the and forecasting, for example, is a very classic case of sometimes happens in a I tell in my classroom also that if your forecasting is wrong, if you go wrong on your forecasting, if you cannot predict your forecast well, if you cannot predict your market well, there is an enormous loss that a company can make because the entire chain is getting affected. Your let us say your if the market does not, if it does not sell well, does not sell well, right, then automatically there is a pile up of inventory, right. This entirely affects the operation the operation and production side of the company, right. So, and obviously when all this gets affected, the profitability does not remain the same. So, profits go down, right. Okay. I think it might be, if you can see, the profits will go down. Okay. Similarly, problem solving research talks about examples like segmentation. Which segment? For example, there is a very nice example which I will tell you on how to segment the market, how companies, Godrej for example, Godrej Hair understood that there was a market besides the human beings, right. They in Maharashtra, when they were selling their dyes, they thought they were surprised ki why the sales was going up in Maharashtra, and that too in a place where in Vidarbha, where the sales of hair dye had no clue, they had no clue why it was growing unnecessarily. But they were surprised that this was being used for coloring the buffaloes, and you can understand how much a buffalo consumes, right. So, these are something like there was a very important market that was untapped. So, how do you make what products to make, what pricing? I can give you dozens of examples on this. For example, on distribution, the famous Tata Ace, Chota Hathi comes to my mind. In the bylanes of Lucknow, if you have to take your truck, you cannot take it. It is so difficult. So, Tata came up with this concept of Chota Hathi, which is a Tata Ace, and this vehicle could move into any lane of any place in India, because India being a very congested place. So, and this product, that is the reason, became extremely successful, right. So, as I said, so these are the problem identification and problem solving research. So, which side? Equally they are both important. Okay. So, I think we have gone through this. For example, the test marketing, for example, I remember the time when Nestle was doing its test marketing for the Maggi, right, and when I was in school, obviously, right. So, when they were doing a test marketing, they were trying to influence, they were trying to see whether the market would be readily accepting their products or not. Sometimes if you do not do it, you are surprised because the market rejects your products, right, very dangerous. Okay. So, all these you can see, right, product modification, package test and all, very important. Okay. Similarly, the pricing policies. What is the pricing policy? If you underperform, if you underprice a product, you are losing valuable money. If you overprice, you will miss out on the customers, right. So, you will miss out on the large number of potential customers who could have purchased your product, but now they are not there with you, right. So, that is also very dangerous. Elasticity of price is extremely important in the market, because again that happens, consumers in some cases, depends on the type of product obviously, in some products they are very sensitive, in some products they are less sensitive. So, if you are in a sensitive product, if the firm is working in a sensitive product and they play with the price, it could be either very positive or it could be negative, one can be very careful. So, all this needs research, all this needs data, all this needs to be one to see very detailed, but any research will only happen when you are very clear ki what is your objective, right, what is your objective and how to move further into that, right. Okay. I think what I can do is, this will be my possibly last slide of today, and then we will maybe carry it on to the next class. Okay. So, if you can see this is a whole in a holistic way I have tried to show you. This is marketing research, and these are the factors that affect, uncontrollable factors that affect the marketing research. For example, your economic condition, the demonetization happened recently and that affected many companies. For example, Rajiv, the Bajaj says they were heavily affected because of demonetization, people did not have money, right. Okay. Technology, laws and regulations, political factors, controllable prices variables are yours, because it is in the hands of the company, right. So, they can do a good research and find out what is the optimum value for it. The groups, customer groups are the who are involved, are the consumers, employees, shareholders, suppliers, And all this the marketing managers have to look into the segmentation, the target market, the programs, performance and control. So, how do you at the end you have to monitor your performance and to have a control over it, right. Okay. Thank you so much, thanks for the day. We will meet in the next class of marketing research analysis. Thank you so much.